Great news for moms who've been beating themselves up over their messy houses. When our kids are home all day, spreading out projects, distractedly leaving shoes or plates in all the wrong places, this lived in look can become a source of shame. Well, famous tidying up person Marie Kondo has shifted her perspective, you may have heard. Now that she has had her third child, she has pushed past the embarrassment of a messy house and sees a bigger application of her neatness concept. Marie has joined the ranks of moms everywhere who are examining what really matters most in their lives with their children. Before we dive into that, as it relates to unschooling, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Sue Patterson, your host here at the Unschooling Mom to Mom podcast. I'm a mom of 3 grown unschoolers who has circled back to help families like yours see that you do have choices and it will work out, even if you choose something as unconventional as unschooling. My kids got into colleges, started careers, have families, and enjoyed their childhoods. Doors did not close for them. So when people say you have to make the kids jump through a variety of hoops for them to be successful, I'm here to tell you that's not true. And over the years, I've created so many resources to help you. Membership groups where you can feel supported with other families on this journey too. Courses, guides, blog posts, books, and this podcast, which, by the way, if you're feeling so inclined, let me share a couple of ways to support the Unschooling Mom to Mom podcast. The easiest is to leave a 5-star review on whatever platform you listen. Those reviews are what tell the powers that be to share this podcast far and wide. So that way you can help spread the word about unschooling too. If you'd like to help financially, which is always appreciated, you can join at Patreon for a regular $5 a month. Or you can leave a donation over at buymeacoffee.com/Sue Patterson. I love that one because I really do envision you sipping coffee with me in some cute little coffee shop somewhere. Okay, I'll stop and I'll leave the links in the show notes and at the blog. Back to Marie Kondo and why it matters to unschoolers. Her new book applies the Japanese concept of kurashi, or way of life, or even the ideal way of spending your time. Now you're starting to see the connection, right? While she probably has no idea what unschooling is, Marie's new kurashi-inspired ideas are very unschooling aligned. It's all about expanding on simple ways to spark joy every day and lead a joyful life. And this is what parents wrestle with as they begin their unschooling journey, reframing what they've been told should be the priority versus what the reality is for their family. Marie Kondo has evidently irritated a lot of people who followed her method and now don't like that she has shifted. Humans always want a formula, a solution, a way to tidy up our thinking so it makes sense, right? But the reality is that while we're gathering ideas from other people, we have to move away from the concept of following people blindly. Sure, we have had years of school conditioning that pushed us to do exactly that. But unschooling parents are discovering that letting that concept go allows us to create the truly individualized lives that we and our kids deserve. And yes, that can be messy, our thoughts and our living rooms. I'm happy Marie has been brave enough to share the changes that she's making as her family grows. Can we all remember ideas we had before we had kids, stories in our heads of what we would tolerate or how we would parent? And then, as if the universe was chuckling a little, saying to us, oh yeah, what if you have kids that are like this? Or what if your life looks like this? It's okay. We don't know what we don't know. And then we know better. And we make the necessary adjustments, like you're doing now, as you're letting go of stories in your head that prevent you from having the joy that you and the kids deserve. Lives that fit, lives that are reality-based, lives that you all enjoy. Marie asks a simple question. It's an expansion of her earlier premise, but we unschoolers use the same way of approaching the world too. What if every decision you made, every goal you set, and every aspect of your life was guided by what sparks joy? When I went over to her website and dug a little deeper, I saw that Marie said, when we consciously cherish something precious, we deepen our relationship with it. This, in turn, deepens our bonds with other things in our lives, bringing out the best in them and in ourselves. She even developed 4 specific action steps for exploring your own kirashi. Number 1, expand your vision. Number 2, let go of constraints. Number 3, give yourself time. And number 4, hold space for what matters. And there's our unschooling connection. Shifting our perspectives, prioritizing our relationships, focusing on what matters. Having kids, they really do shift our perspectives, even Marie Kondo's. I can feel unschooling moms smiling over their coffees this morning. I want to share one more thing with you. Over at the Unschooling blog, Shannon Loucks, a mom to 3 grown unschoolers, wrote something about her house being messy. It was an explanation that I think you need to hear. She wrote that it's messy because it's so much more than a house. It's an art studio prepared for messy adventures and displaying both process and product. It's a science lab fit for experimenting with anything from explosion to dissection. It's a jungle gym full of spots for flipping and hanging and softly landing. It's a movie theater where you can bring in as much of your own food as is required to enjoy the show. It's a dig site where excavating treasures happens on a near daily basis. It's a library of the noisy sort where poring over and piling up and dog-earing pages is encouraged. It's a video arcade without the necessity of coins and welcoming of drinks and food near the machines. It's a gathering space where all are welcome just as they come, and hooting and hollering and mentoring and celebrating is invited. It's an infirmary where people, pets, stuffies, and plants are found in various stages of healing. It's a coffee shop where beans are roasted, shots are pulled, and friends are toasted. It's a workshop where things are taken apart and not put back together, where projects are started and not finished, but always waiting to be revisited. It's a hockey rink, a soccer field, a wrestling ring, a golf course, a tennis court, where skills are tested and tried. It's a dressing room with costumes and props, fit for the making of imagination's finest films. It's a superhero's backyard with gadgets poised for use and repurposing. It's a chef's kitchen where testing, inviting, and preparing elaborate meals happens over and over and over again. And it is many more things than she could remember to mention, but she adds, so if you stop by, please look past what appears to be mess and join in the magic. Isn't that great? Well, while I have not read Marie Kondo's book, I have read Shannon's, and it's fabulous. It's called Love More, 50 Ways to Build Joy into Childhood. I'll leave a link for that too. Okay, so that's it for this week. Do like Marie and Shannon and me. Embrace the mess. Look past it so you can see the joy that's there. Until next time, enjoy your family and happy unschooling.